So you're ready to launch. You've got the pieces in place, and now you're looking at your calendar and you're thinking, hmm, how long should this launch be, anyways? Hey, it's Tracy from Launch Tech Made Easy, and I love to talk all things launching with people. And I particularly like to help people launch through my 5-week boot camps where we get all of the launch tasks done in just 5 weeks so that you can finally finish a launch you're proud of. If you're interested in signing up for the next session, you can reach out to me at tracy@launchtechmadeeasy.com. Tracy is Tracie. Okay, so you're planning out your launch and you're thinking, man, how long should this launch be? Let's talk about a few things. First of all, in my world, a launch really starts when you send out the first email that says, hey, I'm about to do something cool. I'm about to offer a free masterclass. I'm about to offer a free webinar, and I'd love to have you join me. Then they sign up for your free masterclass, whether it's a video series, webinar, challenge, lives, whatever it might be. And then they get that free content. You open your cart, you close your cart. To me, that the launch is that whole time period. Some people consider the launch only when the cart opens, but in my world, a launch is really when we start to let the people on our list, the people that are following us, know that there's something coming up, that we're getting ready to offer our free masterclass. We'll just call it a masterclass for now. It could be a lot of different things, but the pre-launch content, okay? So when you're thinking about your launch, you need to consider a few things. First of all, you need to look at your calendar and you need to think about things like, when are my people online? Are they online on the weekends? Are they online during the week? Is this something that is seasonal that I'm about to offer? Is it something that people are going to need to get within a certain period of time? So you need to kind of consider those general questions when you're deciding, okay, when do I even want my launch to be? Then, when you're looking at the calendar, you need to figure out, okay, how long do I want to be engaged and really excited and really promoting this launch? Now, I will be very honest with you, launching takes a ton of energy. Even if you've pre-recorded all of your videos or you've done this before, you have to really be on top of your game. What I've seen happen over and over again is that people get their pre-launch content recorded, or they get their webinar script and their slide deck all done and ready to go. And they just feel this sense of relief that it's over and it's done. You know, the webinar has been taken care of, or the videos have been recorded and edited, and we're good to go. The reality is that even when those videos have been delivered or that webinar has been completed, that is when your cart opens, and that's when you really, really need to be on your game. Every single day during your open cart period, you're going to want to be sending out an email. And that email is not only going to be reminding them that you are offering something really cool and introducing them to your program and giving them more information, but it is also going to uncover for them different components of the transformation that they're going to get if they register for your program. So those emails that go out during your open cart period every day will be things like emails talking about the case studies of some of the people that you've helped. Or they could be an email that is doing a FAQ. Maybe it's a live. Maybe you're sending out an email explaining that you're going to be going live on Facebook in the afternoon. Those emails and those events that you're doing that go along with those emails, they require a lot of energy. And a lot of times, many of the things that you do during your open cart period are going to be spontaneous and spur of the moment. So like a live FAQ session, although it could be recorded, it's going to be far more powerful if you can answer those questions that you know most people have, but then also take questions live during the Facebook Live or YouTube Live or whatever. Answer those questions live and interact with the people who are interested in your course. So the reason that it's important to consider this when you're considering how long your launch should be is that that portion of the launch can take even more work and energy than the part that you did that was pre-recorded or pre-written or was ready to go when you opened your cart, because you need to constantly be pivoting, taking the temperature of your audience, seeing what questions they're asking, address those questions, figure out where they need a little extra boost to get them to make that decision. So if you let's look at a just a random count. I'll just say February. Let's say we're talking about you're going to launch in February. And so you know that February is a great time for you to get all of your pre-launch content taken care of. You're going to get your webinar written, you're going to get all of your things recorded, you're going to be ready to go. And then your open cart is going to go into the first part of March. Let's say the first 4 or 5 days of March. And then you're going to have your open cart period, and then you're going to go on vacation. So your course isn't, or your program isn't actually going to start till the second week of March. And you figure that'll be fine. All of my stuff is pre-recorded. It's all ready to go. We'll have the open cart. I'll go on vacation. I'll come back. We'll be ready to start fresh with the program. The problem with that is if you look at what goes on during an open cart period, if you're preparing for a vacation or some other life event, you are not going to want to really be on the top of your game when you're during your open cart period. That open cart period is critical because usually what happens, and this isn't always the case, but usually what happens is people open their cart, they expect a huge rush of orders. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But a lot of times they like have this adrenaline letdown. The cart is open, they're tired, they have a rush to get to that point, and then they just are ready to be done. And so if they don't get a rush of orders at the beginning, there's a huge temptation. It happens all the time that people will say, I didn't get any orders the first day. I'm not going to finish. I'm just going to quietly go away and go back into my corner and we'll try this again some other time. They never even finish the open cart period. They don't even close the cart because they just kind of quit sending out the emails and they abandon the whole launch. That happens more often than you would imagine. So when you're choosing your launch dates and figuring out how long you want your launch to be, one of the things you really need to consider is your energy and what is coming up right after the launch. It's very common for somebody to say, okay, I'm going to finish my launch the week before I go on vacation, the week before Christmas, the week before the kids are out of school. And then I'll have a week of a buffer and then we'll start the course. But the reality is what happens, they lose their energy and they get sidetracked by whatever is going to happen after the launch is over and they don't finish the launch strongly. So make sure that not only are you considering how long your cart is open, but you're also considering what's going to happen once the cart closes. Are you going to have the energy to really finish that cart strong and then let it all go? Okay. You don't want to be thinking about, if your cart's closing on Thursday night, you don't want to think about your flight to Hawaii early Saturday morning and be thinking about both things at the same time. And it's very common for people to try to do that. So what's the answer to how long should your cart be open? In my experience, if you're an unexperienced launcher and this is your first launch, 5 days seems to be a really good sweet spot. So you have during your 5-day open cart, you would have hey, the cart is open. You wouldn't say this, but basically, hey, my new program is now available for registration. I'd love to have you check it out, would be one email. You could have an email that is, this is a great story about somebody who went through my program, and this is the result that they got from that. That would be your case study. You could do hey, tonight I'm going to go live. I'm going to answer all of your questions about whatever your program is. So that's your FAQ. And then another email in there. And usually you'll have an intuitive sense as to what that email should be just by what's going on with your launch right now. Okay. On the last day of your open cart, you absolutely need to send 3 emails. You absolutely need to send 3 emails, 1 in the morning, 1 in the mid-afternoon, and 1 before your cart closes. I send 4. It never fails that when I'm helping people launch, people will say, I can't do that because people will unsubscribe. My list won't stand for that. My audience won't go for that. I hear it all the time. Here's the reality of that. Your audience is not paying attention to every single email you send out. And if they open the first one, then maybe when you send out the second one that day, you'd say, don't send it to the people who opened the first one. Okay, change up the subject lines. They have different content in each email. If you do not launch, or if you do not send an email 3 times that last day, you are leaving money on the table. Pure and simple. because some people need all of those reminders before they're going to buy from you. And here's the true reality. If they unsubscribe, they probably weren't going to buy from you in the first place. I mean, think about all of the lists that you're on. If it's something you're truly interested in and the timing just isn't right for you right now, you're not going to unsubscribe just because one day they happen to be sending a lot of emails. You may say, okay, I'm not going to, I know they're launching right now. I'm not going to listen to these emails right now, but you're not going to unsubscribe if it's somebody that you truly like and somebody who you may buy from in the future. I kind of love launching for cleaning my list because if I have a list full of people who don't want to buy from me and aren't willing to listen to me when I have something really valuable to offer to them and they have to pay for it, then I don't actually need them on my list where I have to nurture them and pay for them to be on there just to receive my free content. If they are going to go to the extreme of unsubscribing, then that's okay with me. Um, sure enough, there's a lot of people on my list who won't buy from me and just want my free content, and I'm able to help them with the free content, and that's all well and good, and I love having them on my list. But if at any point they decide it's not for them anymore, it's fine with me if they unsubscribe because chances are they aren't going to buy from me in the future anyways. And maybe they'll come back, but I wouldn't worry about it. I've tracked these numbers. Lots of people have tracked these numbers for years, and the reality is, even though you think people are going to unsubscribe, they don't. It doesn't happen. And the few that might probably weren't going to buy from you in the first place. So when you're considering how long your launch should be, think about the main things: holidays, which days people are most online. Like if you have a dating product and you are closing a cart on a Friday or Saturday night, that might work out great for you because your target audience is sitting home alone on Friday and Saturday nights and probably surfing the internet. And maybe you're thinking, oh, I really want this course, this program, so I don't have to continue to be sitting alone on Friday and Saturday nights. If what you're offering is a program on something that's helping kids or kid related, Friday and Saturday nights may not be ideal. Maybe you've gone out for a date night that night, or maybe you're just not paying attention to the internet because you're having family time with your kids. So Friday and Saturday night may not be a great night for that. If your audience is people who are working in offices Monday through Friday, then you're going to want to close your cart sometime when they're in their office Monday through Friday. And only is Friday a day where they're kind of kicking back and they're saying, let me go through my inbox and clean my inbox out? Or is Friday the day where they're totally checked out and they're like, I'm not even listening to anybody on Friday. I just want to get out of the office. You can know these things by paying attention to when they're opening your emails and when they're communicating with you. So consider that when you're launching too. You don't want to open your cart when nobody's going to be watching what you're doing. You also want to think about the period after your open cart so that your attention isn't divided between your open cart period and whatever's going to happen right away afterwards. And you want to think about your energy levels. How long do you think you can keep your energy up? Some people do an extremely long open cart, and generally when they do that, they're bringing in guest speakers. They might have affiliates offering things during that time period. They might be, offering both an online video series and a webinar, or a challenge and a webinar, or something that's more complicated. When you're first starting out, I recommend a 5-day open cart period. And the week before, if it depends on if it's webinars or videos, but I prefer a 3 to 5 day pre-launch period with a video going out every other day or a webinar offered 3 to 5 times, same webinar, to kind of get people into your open cart. So the answer is the length of your launch depends a lot on you and your audience. But I hope that that's given you a few things to think about. If you have any other questions about launching, or if you're interested in receiving information about my Get Launched Bootcamp, which will be opening for registration again actually pretty soon, you can reach out to me at tracy@launchtechmadeeasy.com or hop on over to my website, launchtechmadeeasy.com.